Emergency alert. So again, I ask you the question. When I was living in New Mexico, who do you think knew me better? Christina Stiers, the little girlfriend I had, or my mother and father? Well, let me see. Christina Stiers knew I was crying on the floor every night. Christina Stiers knew that me, her, and her little girlfriends were all getting choked out by a black man. Christina Stiers knew that our things were getting stolen in the night. Christina Stiers knew that weren't getting an education for a whole 18 months. What did my father know about me? Let me see. What does my father know about the 18 months his son spent in New Mexico? Let's see. Why don't we ask him? What do you know about that time? Well, he was getting care for attachment disorder, and there was a therapist, staff, and we sued him, and bad stuff happened. Did he get an education? Well, of course he got an education. No, I actually did not for the whole 18 months. Oh. So you don't even know if your son got an education or not in the whole time he was in New Mexico. Apparently, he can't answer that question honestly. Well, why would my father not be able to give honest questions about my physical health, my education, when I was poisoned, what meds I took, what were the things going on in my childhood from age 4 to 12? What was going on at that time? What was going on from ages 13 to 19? Why would my father not have any fucking idea what I'm like or what was going on? Why? Why would he be the last person to ask? Because he didn't want to know. He was very happy to eat bullshit and be fed shit as long as it meant that they could go on vacation. That's it. Steal my swimming medal away? Well, I don't have to fight with my wife, so that's okay. Yeah. So what? My wife stole your medals away and then got you medicated and made up stories about those swimming medals. Well, you're a thief. You're probably lying about that being your medal still. And he'll say something totally fucked up like that. I'm not even kidding. I can see my father right now, me telling him, hey, it was wrong of you to steal my swimming medal that I won in an orphanage and then have me medicated based upon that swimming medal. That is wrong to do to a child. If I told my father that today, he'd probably use an excuse like this. It's not bad. I said I was sorry. You know what? You're probably making it up. No, you probably stole it. That's probably the shit that I would get still today. And then he'll go around spreading that shit. Zach steals swimming medals from other people. Yeah. That's what my wife says, and I agree with it. So, yeah, we're going to go. Yeah, that's what happened. Yeah. That's what she says, so, yeah. That's so wrong. No matter if it's in a comedic way like I just did or in a serious, well, okay, yeah. At the doctor's office when your wife is going, see this swimming medal right here? See that ZG on the back? He's going around writing his initials on stuff. Yeah, our son has attachment disorders. It's problems with his biological mother. I heard it from another psychiatrist and I read it in a book. And I promise you, this kid got problems. We need medications for him right away. See that ZG on the back? Yeah, he's writing on stuff, so he has attachment disorder. Yeah, and he's also a thief and he's stealing stuff. Isn't that right? No, I'm not stealing. I want my swimming medal back. I won that in the orphanage. I want it back. See, now he also makes up fantasies just like that, my mother says. Yes, he never won any swimming medal in the orphanage. No, he didn't. He's just making that up to get back at me. Yeah, my son is always trying to get back at me. That's another thing. We need to medicate him right away. You need to give me a lot of medicine because he's bipolar too. He's hyper one minute and then he looks depressed the next. And she also leaves out the context as I look depressed at a party because my mother is drugging me with downers. She leaves that part out. And then also at my primary care, I asked for help because there's something wrong with my body from an overdose my mother gave me. But I don't know what to call it, so I call it losing my vision, losing my senses, not being able to feel anything, not being able to stand up. That's how I describe it. And at the time, I was screaming for help, help. My breathing slowed down. I visibly passed out on a pile of newspapers. My mother was on the phone with emergency responders of some type, doctors or the doctor's office that was prescribing the pills or whatever. They told her to bring me to the emergency room, but my mother knows she slipped a downer in there to make me quiet so she could get her way, and so she didn't have to watch the child show and she could change the TV. But instead, I had a reaction, and it's really bad, and I'm about to have a permanent neurological disorder put into me, and I need medical care right away. I'm now about to pass out. And so she goes, nope, you guys don't know what you're talking about. Hangs up, IOD, I'm passed out now. And my mother just says to my father, no, let's just let him sleep it off. By the time I wake up, everything's different. The TV's changed. It's the next day or whatever. Everything's totally different. I think I woke up late in the night. Whenever I woke up, my whole body was different, and then I was just put back to bed. I was just put back to bed anyways, passed back out, woke up whenever else, and my whole body was fried. About a week later or a couple days later, I'm sucking on my skin, trying to figure out why my body feels differently. But don't forget, my mother's doing one fucked up thing after another. Like then she's bringing me to the doctor saying that I'm suicidal because I'm sucking on my skin. On top of that, also, at this point, I am going to school and teachers are pulling me into the hallway, asking me what's changed in my body, and I don't understand what's going on. On top of this, I get home from school and all my toys are missing, and I ask my mother why. She says it's because I like my toys better than her, and so she's jealous of my toys and threw it away. But then I bring this up at dinner time, and she says it's because I didn't clean my room. And then on top of this, then she's giving me full bottles of Epicac to teach me lessons about not repeating phrases that I've heard from other adults and not to eat wild mushrooms outside. What's a good lesson to teach your child, except for you shouldn't damage the stomach and esophagus for life. It's probably not a good idea to damage your son's esophagus and stomach for the rest of his entire life just to teach him a lesson, but my mother thought that was okay. And then she's also sneaking me pills for different events she finds useful to shut me up or get her way during. Also, my first couple Halloweens in this house, she was drugging me to make sure I wasn't able to go out for Halloween. We called it the Halloween sickness curse. Every so often, during the same period from the age of 7, or I should say 6, all the way to about 12 or 13, I would get this mystery Halloween flu that would just, or sickness that would come right after my mother told me to take my meds. I would get suddenly sick, pale, weak. There would be problems later with my white blood counts or weird things happening to my body afterwards, and these horrible things. Only about 2 hours after my mother would give me meds, and right when my mother said I'm not allowed to go out, but everybody else said I could, so I'm allowed to go out trick-or-treating, but my mother doesn't want it, and she's made that clear, but she's been overruled, and she really wants to get her way, so she calls me over for medicine time. One of these pills don't look quite the same, but I take them because I'm told to take them. My mother says, just take them already, stuff like that, and then I get sick. So there's stuff going on a lot like that. And if you're thinking maybe I'm some pussy for complaining about this, or I should just handle this myself, or I got myself into this mess or some shit like that, that's just bullshit. That's bullshit. People who don't want to take responsibility for their action. That's Hitler rhetoric. It's the Jewish people's fault for being Jewish. That's that bullshit. Oh, well, disabled people should all be killed. Yeah, until you get in an accident at work and you get a metal rod through your leg, and then you got a limp, and then all of a sudden you're like, wait, don't kill me. Wait, that applies to me? That Hitler rhetoric applies back to me? But I'm only half Jewish, Hitler said. Yeah, kill all the Jews but me, Hitler said. Yeah, I'm half Jewish, but kill all the Jews but me, Hitler said. Do you see where this might go wrong? You see where these people are using fool's logic? They're saying one thing and doing another. My father will talk about me being a pussy or me not being a hard worker. Meanwhile, he was never willing to do the work necessary when I was 7 years old. Literally, he wouldn't even allow me to be a normal kid for 5 minutes. I had to be drugged every minute of Westford until my body was fried. And then once when my body was fried, we better keep him moving. Oh no, we better keep this kid moving. And my mother knew it. I knew something was wrong. And my father must knew something was wrong as soon as I mentioned this in the doctor's office. He might have not known it was an overdose, but he must have known something really bad with those meds are going on. And there was no meds before this mother. There was no super druggings like this. And there was no super druggings in Texas. There was no super druggings in New Mexico. There was no super druggings in Maine until after she got me back to Massachusetts. Then she did the super druggings again, more super druggings, more super druggings. Then she got the doctors to do the super druggings. Then she just would bring the super druggings to Maine whenever they brought me to Maine. And then that was pretty much how it went all the way till about the age of 21, when I realized that when I asked the doctor for help sleeping and they want to give me Seroquel, Trazodone, Thorazine, things like that, that might not be the best thing to take just for sleep. Maybe taking a melatonin and a Benadryl would be a better bet than doing that, seeing as those things are causing me severe harm. Then maybe we should stop taking a cocktail of 7 pills, because at the age of about 21 I limited it to 3 pills and I was getting better. But once when I hit 0 drugs, oh my god, I got so much better when I wasn't drugging myself with Thorazine or Lamictal or Risperidone or Thorazine, Seroquel, Trazodone, lithium. Stuff like that just made it so hard to even function with a neurological disorder. They did not help my neurological disorder one bit, and I had no idea what my disability was. My mother was telling me all these crazy fantasies, and my father was going along with it, and the doctors were the wrong type of doctors, plus they were being fed so much bullshit they were useless. So I had no idea. All I had was a neurological disorder, an ADHD, and a crazy mother. That's it. I had a nuts crazy mother. I had ADHD, a neurological disorder, and that's it. Now, if you want to know about why I have a learning curve or a learning disability, well, I did not have a learning disability until about 3rd, 4th grade. Yep, I was top of my class for 1st grade. My mother even had to scream at the teacher to hold me back, and because I was at the top percentage, not the best, but I was like 5th in the spelling bee type stuff. And I was doing just fantastic. 2nd in 5 groups. I was the running kid in my group, and things were going really. I was the best kid in swim class, and things were going forward pretty good. Math was going pretty good. When I moved to Texas, there was a setback because now they're reestablishing my level. So I was set back in the Texas, and I really didn't want to move forward at one point either. But then I did the work anyways. But I was a little scared of what was going on and being in Texas. But it didn't matter because I was just ripped out of there and the doctors as soon as I opened my mouth about my physical health issues, which the teachers were worried about too, because I'm putting on jackets to block the wind when it's really like 85 degrees out and shit. So they're a little worried why I'm always saying I'm cold when it's not cold, and why I'm so shaky, and why I become nonverbal when it does get cold. They don't understand what's going on there. But I'm ripped out of there and put in New Mexico, where there are no doctors and there are no teachers and there is none of actual care. We're just lucky if we survive not getting bit by a rattlesnake, a black widow, or food poisoning, or a black man choking us out, or we don't have to hear a 8-year-old girl getting choked out in the shower. It was terrible. I was playing with the toys around the corner from the girls' dorm. It goes right across from the boys' bathroom. And you could hear the little girl taking the shower, and the African American staff, about 300 pounds, saying, "I'll fucking choke you out right in that shower. You get out of that shower." It was only like 2 or 3 minutes after the warning. "I told you to get out." And you hear a big crash onto the floor. Oh, you hear this little 8-year-old girl screaming. And then you hear him flipping her over, choking. You hear like gargling. You hear the shower in the background. And she's butt naked. I'm naked. I'm naked. She's crying. I told you I don't care. And oh my God, just I still have that flashback of playing with my toys, and then all of a sudden hearing that happen to my little girlfriend's girlfriend. Yeah, I had a little girlfriend. She was too scared, so she would run out of that shower naked into her clothes. Oh my God, those she would probably, it was like cartoonish. If Toby said do this, she'd be right there. If Toby said throw your Barbie doll and break the head off, she would break the head off. I'm not even kidding. He would do stuff. Throw that Barbie away, and then she would go throw it away. Like one time, I was playing with a Ken doll with her, so I could play with her because she liked Barbie. So my father and mother sent me a Ken doll so I could play with my little girlfriend. Well, this black guy didn't like it, so he told my little girlfriend, snap the head off Zach's toy. And she goes, I don't want to, I don't want to. Snaps the head out anyways because he comes over and starts yelling at her, which she does it anyways. This is terrible memories, terrible of New Mexico. Anyway, so, yep, there's a lot of children getting hurt up there, a lot of shit going on. Do you think my father takes responsibility for what's going on with his son? Oh yeah, he says he's sorry and then continues doing it over and over. That's okay, right? Yeah, say you're sorry and then go and do whatever you feel like. That's what we teach our daughters and sons, right? Just say you're sorry and do whatever the fuck you want. Yeah, don't learn anything from it. What are you sorry for? You don't know? Well, that's okay. Go. You're forgiven. Yeah, it's all set. That's what we teach our kids. No. What are you sorry for? I took a cookie from that cookie jar. Okay, so you're sorry you took a cookie, but why is that a problem? Because I'm stealing, and then I won't have any for later, and then my brothers and sisters won't have any, and then you won't know what's missing, and so then they will have less food too, and then I get twice as many cookies and they get half the cookies? Yes. So what are we not going to do? I'm not going to steal any cookies. Good. And so what did you do wrong? I stole cookies, and I'm not going to steal cookies because then other people won't have cookies, including me. Good. That's what we teach our kids. Now, my father had an African American choking me out. I got PTSD memories not only from this African American people in New Mexico. His wife, right before that in Westford, decided it was okay to drug the shit out of me with pills I'm not prescribed. And now I have a neurological disorder that's still not being treated. And because of this New Mexico bullshit, there's no doctors. So what have we learned? I need doctors, right? Nope. Just say sorry and sell some houses.